Well, some of the latest information here in terms of North Korea. We've heard the saber rattling going back and forth, but it looks like now, after this big meeting between Trump and the Chinese president, it looks like they're cutting down the coal coming from North Korea. This is something I wasn't sure China was going to do, but it looks like they have completely stopped, leaving 2 million tons stranded at ports in China. This is big time. These are big moves. This shows that China is being influenced heavily by the United States. And not only that, they've gone back to heavily buying coal from the United States. Talk about, the sanctioning and everything else with North Korea, conducting these tests and the threats continuing to come from them. Now, North Korea vowing an attack. They will launch a nuclear attack, they state, if there's any kind of preemptive strike. I've already talked about how the USS Carl Vinson carrier group is headed toward this Korean peninsula. And they may be launching a decapitation strike on Kim Jong-un's regime. People have got to pay attention to this. You do not send this much military hardware and mount up this big in an area for nothing. It looks like the moves are being made. It looks like China cutting the coal stuff and shutting it down is a signal from them to the U.S. that they're somewhat abiding by what's going on here. And the reports from last night that China put 150,000 troops on the border is checking out to be false thus far. I can't see any confirmation on that. The Chinese are saying it's not true, and I can't see any images or anything showing any proof that that's the case. Well, it may be, but at this point, we have no clarification on that. Although we know India has been building up, the Philippines have been making moves, Japan, all of them around China. And now we have this group heading in toward the Korean Peninsula with threats flying everywhere. If you ask me, something big is definitely going to go down rather sooner than later. The 15th is a big day. April 15th is a big day for them in Korea. It is the day of the sun. They expect they may carry out more tests on this day. And if there is, and our ships are in position, I'm telling you right now, they're going to strike North Korea. Whether they're going to try to take out one of these smaller facilities, the nuclear programs, the top of the regime with the decapitation strike, it's all yet to be seen. But they're going to strike them. And I just hope that they don't volley something back, have something hidden somewhere, or they don't have something staged here on this world stage with this puppet government of North Korea, to where when an attack goes down, something happens in response that affects us all. That's how they operate, you see. Don't forget how they let Pearl Harbor get bombed. They saw them coming across the ocean. Don't forget the Gulf of Tonkin. Don't forget those towers that came down on 9/11. Because they will pull off events to buffalo the people. And boy, oh boy, with 9/11 alone, they buffaloed millions. The whole world. Is anyone doing anything about it? Nope. Is anyone going to do anything if another one happens? I guess only time will tell. But if people don't start getting proactive in speaking the truth, you're going to be sitting there alone by yourself trying to defend yourself with no one else around you when it counts, because you never did anything to get up off your ass and help anyone else. You always expect some white knight to come save the day. It's not the way it's going to happen. You people better start coming together and using your heads, because these regimes and governments across the globe, this whole thing is cut out strictly on power. And I also just did another article on them forcing our Air Force pilots to stay in the military because they're leaving in mass. That should tell you right there something is wrong with this world stage. When the people signing up for the military are awakening and seeing the atrocities of going and fighting some other man's war, constantly killing innocent people when they could have just stayed here And many of them want to defend the home front here, not across the globe. This is the situation we're in, ladies and gentlemen, with these war fronts in Syria, Ukraine, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, the Korean Peninsula, South China Sea, tense. I will continue to update with more info as I come across it, as always, but there's a look at some of the latest information. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu7. Peace.